Okay, we are all good. We are live.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So today we are going to. Oh yeah, timer. No.
Yeah. Timer. Let's do it.
40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Okay.
So by
We have a
2:30
timer going on.
2:30 we finish.
All good. Fine. So we are doing CSS Flexbox. We have to start this. We are going to build this sort of like Instagram's desktop layout, no?
Yeah.
Where you have like these things. Only there's no hover and stuff like that. But you're basically displaying a set of, let us say, cards or blocks after each other.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we get into this one, okay, we'll just do a quick Google search for CSS Flexbox or options. Okay.
Yeah.
CSS Flexbox. We will look at csstricks.com. This is a very nice. All these images that you're seeing are from that site. Okay. So just understand. Background. Okay. Basics and terminology. Okay. These are two things you need to understand. Okay. How you have an x-axis and a y-axis.
Yeah.
Okay. You have x which is going like this.
Yeah,
And in the case of a browser, x starts from here and goes like this.
Yeah.
Okay. And we are saying y starts from top to bottom. Instead of down to up, we are saying top to bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is one direction and this is one direction.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I can display elements either horizontally or vertically.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need some type of terminology to say what is the main way of displaying. I can either, if I'm going to display it as a row, right? So this will be your main axis. And for a row, if my display type is row, then if this is main, this is cross. Opposite direction.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm going to display it as a column, one after the other, then this is the main direction. Main axis is this.
Yeah.
And cross is the other axis.
Yeah.
Okay. One concept of main and cross.
Cross.
Okay.
But before we did the same thing, display, inline, and block.
Yeah, but you will see the magic when we get to it.
Okay.
Okay. Remember how we were doing display, inline and block at either one set of elements and then they would display one next to the other. Maybe one's height would be bigger, one would be smaller and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So this gives you inbuilt solutions for those kind of issues.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Just understand one concept, main, cross.
Cross.
For row, this is main and this is cross. For column, this is main and this is cross. Okay. This is cross size and this is main size. Main is this, main size is this. Okay. So obviously cross is starting here, for main is starting somewhere. Main is starting, this is the main axis. Main start, main end. And cross start, cross end. It's the other way around for columns. Okay. Now, in a Flexbox, you see the purple thing.
Yeah.
The purple thing is the container on which you tell, hey, everything inside this, how you do display block or display this one, right?
Inline.
For the container, you can say display flex.
Okay.
How you do display block or display inline or display block inline. This is another display property. Flex.
Do we have tag called container or not? Can we do it in
Container, any container.
in HTML?
Yeah, so when we talk about container in this context, we are not talking about a class or an ID. We're just talking about the parent.
Yeah.
We can either call it parent or container. In this case, they're calling it container. We're just saying the parent element is the one where you define
Yeah.
how you display. Okay. So you have properties for the parent and these are the items.
Inside.
You see the yellow ones. These are the yellow items.
Yeah.
So you have a bunch of properties for the parents and you have a bunch of properties for the children. Okay. We will look at the children later. We'll only focus on the parents now. Okay. Now, if I just take for the parent, for the parent container, if I only say display flex, it will just display it in flex. It's just a display method. Okay. Flex direction is where, if I say display flex, it will display it in flex and it will display it in a row. One after the other. That is the default value.
From left to right, yeah.
Okay. In flex direction, I can control. I can say row, which is the default, where it will display 1 item, 2 items, 3 items, 4 items.
Yeah.
Or I can say row reverse.
From right to left.
Yeah, but that is the main axis, but it is
Reverse.
displaying in reverse. That's it.
Reverse, yeah.
Similarly, column can be from top to bottom. And this is applicable when you write the HTML, which might look really weird. Imagine if I have calculator with buttons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And if the HTML is still written as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
What generally happens in your HTML thing? You write HTML and in that order it displays.
Yeah.
Right? So I can write one. This my default thing is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
But if I say column reverse, you would have still written 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order, but it will display it in the opposite.
Oh, okay.
Right? You don't have to change any HTML.
No.
In CSS, you can display it in reverse.
Reverse, yeah.
Okay. Then flex wrap. We will look at this. You see this falling down.
Yeah.
We'll have a quick this one at
Wrapping effect.
flex generator. We'll have a look at some flex generator. Let us see, what is this? This is one item. Okay. Item width 65, item margin 5. Let us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
5 items. Display flex is this. And this is row. This is the default. Everything with a star is a default. Everything with a star is a default. If you put flex, the default is row. But if I do row reverse, it shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
4, 5.
And how quickly could we do that? With changing just one property. Okay. Similarly, if we do column, it will start like this.
Okay.
It's taking full width. Right? We are just changing one property. Okay. Now we will do normal row. Okay. Let us say, for example, we will make this 650 pixel. Reset. Okay, cancel. This is 650 pixel. Okay.
Yeah.
This is no wrap. If I do wrap, this actual width, let us try at 100. Come out. This is 100 pixels actually.
Yeah. 200.
200.
Double.
This is 200. Now as soon as I go to 210, maybe now it is 210. Now at 220, obviously width is not 220 anymore. It's trying to compress it inside.
Yeah.
Right? Now if I do 250, obviously it should not fit in this row, but it's trying to compress it.
Yeah.
So this is the wrap property. Okay. If you say there is no wrap, it will fit everything in one row. If you say wrap is allowed, right?
So really
no wrap, wrap, or wrap reverse. So if I say wrap is allowed, then it will give the proper 250 width and it will move the next item below. Now they are 250, 250, 250. You understand?
The correct size.
Similarly, I can do wrap reverse as well.
Yeah.
Okay, just see by changing these 2 or 3 properties how many layouts we have got. Okay, so we'll put it at no wrap. We will make this as 200 pixels. Okay, then justify content, flex start, flex end. If you have to do this in CSS, what would you do? You would do margin right 0, margin left auto. Right. If you have to do this, margin right 0, margin whatever, equivalent property. Also. If you did center, margin right auto, margin left auto. Also. Top bottom 0. If you do this, how will you achieve this in CSS?
In CSS?
Yeah. How will you achieve that? Now this is 200 pixels. No, you see this one is at this end, this one is at this end.
Yeah.
And obviously this space is there, no?
Yeah.
It has to be some fixed space, no? Either it has to be pixels, rem or something, right? If I make this 100 pixels, you see how it spreads it to the ends. If I do space around, now space is only between the elements.
Yeah.
Between these two, between these two, between these two, between these two. But you see this element and this element are at the ends. If I do space around, it will give equal width between all of them.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, now think of how you can align stuff with this. How much easier it becomes. Correct. So we can do this. Let us do flex start. You see this stretch, align items.
Yeah.
Maybe I have only one paragraph here and maybe 5 words here or 10 words here. Imagine in HTML, CSS how those things will break around. Have you tried moving stuff around and seeing how they don't fit the same space?
That happens.
Now you can, this align proper, justify is along the main axis. Align is along the cross axis.
Yeah.
So in the cross axis, you do stretch, or you do for this cross axis, this is the start, this is the end.
The end.
So if I do stretch, it stretches it full.
Yeah.
If I do only flex start, it will only take as much place as the box needs to take. If I do flex end, start, end, it will all come down.
So yeah.
If I have to do center of cross axis, okay, baseline this. Now I have this layout, 2 properties, and I have everything centered on all sides.
All sides.
Try doing this with normal HTML, just with normal CSS, little tricky.
It is.
Once you have multiple elements over each other, you don't know which rule is applying. It becomes a little confusing. But with this, it is straightforward. Okay. So we will do this flex start. We'll do this stretch. Align content property. This we will come back to later. Okay. Align content, and these are all properties that are relevant to the children for the flex items. Okay. So now you have understood wrap.
Yeah.
Then you have flow. Okay. So this is a shorthand. Flex flow basically tells the first property, flex direction, column or row, and wrap or no wrap. This is a shorthand.
Flex flow.
Okay. Flex flow. But generally you will just it's a shorthand, right? Instead you will just probably use 2 properties. Right. I don't generally use flex flow. Justify content, you saw those applications. Start, end, center, space between, space around, space evenly. Space around also gives so much distance here, so much distance here, little here. But in space evenly, it is the exact space on all sides. Okay, loads of options it opens up, right? So now think of from a CSS perspective, from a design perspective. Now just think of your form. Right. Yeah. Now in your form, you basically had what? Question group.
Yeah.
The whole question group's container, you could have just done display flex and direction column. Correct.
Yeah.
And when you had those headings, instead of doing text center, you could have just done justify content start, justify content center. It would have justified that text to the center. Okay. Now we will explain this. Now I've given you like the 10,000 foot overview of how flex basically works. Okay. In time you will learn all of these properties. Okay. But see, this generator is also good for me to quickly visualize, a layout. I might not remember all the properties. Right, truth be told. So I will come to something like this. Just quickly for a quick revision, I'll just change one of these options just to remember what it was like. Okay. And all of these flex item properties are all for the children. These are all for the parents. Internally, the child can have different properties and whatnot. Okay. Align self, start, end. Here you are not seeing because anyway he has just put text. No, but there is this one in which it works. Okay. Anyway, we will look at it in a bit. Fine. Okay, we're going to start this. Step 1, begin with your standard doc type. Doc type HTML. Okay, check your code.
Oh, you need to add HTML.
Oh, HTML and head and body. HTML. Now we need head. Now we need body. Okay.
Yep.
Add meta tag. I'm just going to copy all of this stuff and just delete it out as needed. I need meta tag with name set to viewport and content set to tag, meta tag with name set to name equal to viewport
and
content set to
equals to no, not content, like with equal or what? Content. Okay. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. Content
equal.
And this whole thing in a string. 1 minute, let's see. Because we basically barely write the doc type. I don't remember how to write it.
Width equal. This because of mobile phone and tablet, yeah?
Yeah.
It's better to get it from VS Code. If you go to VS Code, I think.
Yeah. See, name equal to viewport, content equal to this whole thing in string.
Yeah.
And initial scale as well. Initial scale equal to 1, and this is where it ends.
And comma. We need comma or no?
Yeah, you need comma.
Char sets equals to
UTF-8.
UTF 8.
Say device width, and you should remove the double quotes there. The double quotes end at initial scale equal to 1.
Initial scale, yeah?
Yeah, it has to end there. Close double quotes there. And remove width equals device dash width, that double quote you remove. Yeah.
Within your head element, add a title.
My head, add a title, text set to
Photo gallery. And the link to CSS.
link
CSS.
rel equal to style sheet, src equal to href equal to, right?
Yeah, href equals to. But he didn't say that. Maybe we want to.
No, he assumes that you know how to write it. Right? Remember how to write it. Link
Yeah.
rel equals this, href equal to that.
Style CSS. Style dot CSS. Because it's already written up. Can you see that? Oh yeah, you did it actually.
Correct, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. All good.
It already created the page.
The only thing that we generally typically add also is type equal to text slash
Text.
CSS.
Yeah.
Okay. Within the body element, create a div with the
Class set to header. The body.
Okay.
It's the first time using the div.
body. Yeah. Div class equal to, what is this? Header.
Class set to header. Class equal.
Inside the header, create a h1 element with the text CSS Flexbox photo gallery. We will create this. You see what he did over here? He used a div and gave it a class,
Class name, yeah.
right? And then he will target the class.
Oh, okay.
Correct? He will not target a div.
A div, no.
Correct? All good?
Yeah.
Below your header element, create a new div element with the ID set to gallery. Below my header element.
So, div inside the div, yeah?
No, it says below your header element.
Okay.
So below the div.
Below
Next.
the div. Okay.
class equal to
It's not class ID. It's
ID. ID set to gallery. ID is set to gallery.
in that gallery element create an image.
Create 10 image elements. IMG. Close the IMG. Shift Alt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now I have 10 image elements. Okay.
Yeah.
Image tags are self-closing.
Self-closing, yeah.
Okay, you won't get an error, but
it should be, yeah.
Yeah.
Understand.
now that you need to give each image element an src attribute. You're going to use the format something blah 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 hash.jpg, replacing hash with the image element order. So your first image should use 1.jpg, second should use 2.jpg. So what I'll do is I'll copy this text. Okay, and then I will go to image and I'll copy all. I'll do Control D to get all duplicates. So I have all 10 images.
Yeah.
Okay, now I can just do space src equal to double quotes, paste this where you have the whole hash thing. Yeah, go
Sorry.
up, go to the end.
src equals to double quote. Okay.
Okay,
But he's saying replacing H with image element order.
yeah, so the element remove each hash and make it 1, 2, 3 like that. 1.jpg, 2.jpg, 3.jpg. Get it?
Ah,
5.jpg, 6.jpg, 7.jpg, 8.jpg, 9.jpg, and hopefully 10.jpg. Did I get all 10? Is the last one an image? Yeah, it's an image. Yeah, we do have all 10 images. My page is stuck too. Okay, check your code. All good?
yeah.
Fine. So now what do you have over here? You have 10 images just displaying one after the other.
Yeah.
Right here, just 10 different images coming one after the other. Now what does it say? Normalizes a box model by creating a star selector. What does a star selector do?
Star selector.
In CSS, when you put star,
Yeah.
what does it do?
H for ID.
No, if I just use star, if I do this,
I never used it.
a star basically means all elements. Now for example, if I have a class, let us say section
Yeah.
called SEC,
Okay.
and inside that section I want something applied to all. So basically what star does is it applies that to all. I'm telling it. Control Shift C.
Yeah.
Okay, come here, we'll go to body. Okay, here you see element whatnot. Let us try adding a style. Add a new style rule. We'll call it star. Means all elements. It's a wildcard. You know what a wildcard is,
Yeah.
right? So a wildcard is for all.
All class.
For everything. Doesn't matter class ID, for every element.
For every element we use
Without
star.
any condition. Star.
Oh, okay. This
Okay.
first time.
Now if I come to this page and if I do star, border, 1 pixel, solid, red. If I close this, every single HTML element, every element has the border now. So you understand what a star does, right?
Does, yeah.
So if, for example, now I'll just reload this page. I'll do Control Shift C. Let us pick up this. Okay. It says H3 class,
Yeah.
right? Or let us say ahref.
Link.
Okay. Here there is nothing. A colon visited you have, right?
Yeah.
When you put space and something, it becomes child.
Child.
Correct. Now if I want to add this one, a rule. A space star. Every child element of an anchor tag.
Yeah.
Forget A. We will do for every div. Let us look for something else. We have so many divs, right? Okay, we'll look for A only, bro. A star, okay, tab, same thing, border, 1 pixel, solid, red. Now it is applicable only to anchor tags and their children.
Link.
Every child of anchor tag.
Sorry. Okay.
Right, that's what a star does. Okay,
Yeah.
every child.
Every child, yeah.
So now what is the requirement for us? It says normalize your box model by creating a star selector, okay, and setting box sizing to border box. Dash box. Okay, this one works, but I am inquisitive to check what box sizing does. Don't understand anything, then
No.
quickly Google search.
Okay.
Okay, you understood the concept of star, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so box sizing is another CSS property. Box sizing CSS. Let us see what it actually does. Box sizing property allows us to include the padding and border in an element's total width and height. Right. So remember that thing where we would do 75%, 25%, and we would have overflow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is what this means, that by default the width and height of an element is calculated like this. By default, width plus padding plus border equals actual width of the element. Similarly for height, height plus padding plus border is actual height. Okay, this means that when you set the width or height of an element, the element often appears bigger than what you have set, because the element's border and padding are added to the element's specified width or height. The following illustration shows two div elements with the same specified width and height. This div is smaller with width as 300 pixels and height as 100. This div is bigger. This div is bigger, where width is 300 pixels. Again, you see this box, internal box, maybe that internal box is only 300 and 100. This is only 300 and 100. But the two div elements above end up with different sizes in the result, because div 2 has padding specified. This one has only width, has only height. This width and height, and has only border. This one has width and height and padding of 50 on all sides. 50, 50, 50, 50.
That's why
okay. Yeah, and this has border this. Box sizing problem solves this. With CSS box sizing property allows us to include the padding and border in an element's total width and height.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you set box sizing border box on an element, padding and border are included in the width and height.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Now it's clear.
Box sizing border box, box sizing border box. Now, you see the 100 and 300? This box is 100 and 300 now.
Yeah.
Box is 100 and 300, and padding is put inside the box. Inside. Control Shift C. You see the padding now for this guy. Hello. This. It is showing the margin. You see the whole green.
Yeah.
That is the padding. This guy has no padding. This fellow has no padding here. Okay, this is just content. But if you come here without box sizing, box sizing,
yeah, the second one.
This is this much only. Here you see the green part.
50 pixels.
Yeah. So in that, you set the width and this one, and padding and border are put on the inside.
Together, yeah.
So it will not overflow.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is important obviously in the flex thing, because you don't want it to be wider than 100%.
Yeah.
Right? I always run into a problem where I would have written the CSS very well, and at the end I will always have a scroll thing. Right? Where something is out here, something is out there, and I never knew what the problem is. So the problem is this, in the way I was writing. I've never used this property before.
Box size.
I myself. Okay, but today, anyway, good time to learn about it. Okay, fine. So that is the problem it is solving. Okay. Step 8. Your images are currently too large and you will not be able to see your CSS changes. Create a hash gallery
Image, yeah.
space image. What does that do?
Hash gallery.
Hash gallery is
ID.
gallery ID
Yeah.
and space image.
So image, every child image of gallery.
Yeah. Every image tag inside gallery.
Inside gallery. Yeah.
Okay. So we need hash. What number is hash, bro?
Hash is 3.
3. Hash gallery space image. So all children.
Yeah.
Give it a width. Width set to 25%. 25%.
And height
And height
300 pixels.
right?
Yeah.
So now we gave everything a width of 25%.
Yeah. So we divided the full box in 4.
Yeah.
25, 25, 25,
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
So if you do it 24, it will be here 4 pieces. If you do it 24.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. If you can actually try it. 24.
Yeah.
Right?
Same.
25. Okay. Submit and go. Remove the margin from your body element. It's okay.
Oh, no, I thought it was coffee glass.
No, it's alright.
It's on the floor.
Okay. Now remove the margin of your body element. Remove the margin of your body element.
So we set it to 0,
Yeah.
right?
Body. Open. Margin. 0. All of this is, you're doing that box sizing and body and all of this, right? All of this is CSS reset.
Yes, okay.
You're resetting the values for different browsers.
Browsers, yeah.
Okay. Margin 0. Then set font. Family. Arial. And background color. Hash EBE7E7 semicolon. All good?
Yeah. EB.
7E7.
So,
Align your header class dot header. Align your header text. How do you do it?
sorry, I have issue here. Your body selector should have a font.
Capital A.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true.
Align your header text in the center. How do you do it?
Line text center.
Text align.
Text align, sorry, center.
Then give it a padding of 32 pixels and set the background color. Background dash color colon hash E0DDDD.
That background, yeah?
Yeah. Hash
Hash
E0
E0.
DDDD. Okay. Now we are starting with Flexbox. Flexbox is a one-dimensional CSS approach layout that focuses on the flow of content. It offers the ability to control the way items are spaced and aligned within a container. To set an element to use Flexbox, you give it a display property set to flex. Now we do display colon flex. Okay, we need the class obviously. We need the ID gallery.
That's what I
We haven't used the gallery, right? Yeah, we haven't used gallery. ID gallery hash gallery. For that ID, we need display as flex. So now what happened? Look at this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all next to each other. And the reason why it's not coming below is because we don't have a property for flex
Row.
wrap. Wrap is when it breaks it to the sun, right? So by default, direction is flex dash direction is row. That is the default value.
Yeah.
Okay, next step 12. Flexbox can be thought of having two axes, the main axis and the cross axis.
Yeah.
The main axis is determined by the flex direction property. If the flex direction is set to row or row reverse, the main axis is horizontal. If the flex direction is set to column or column reverse, the main axis is vertical. Give your gallery selector a flex direction of row.
Okay. Flex direction.
Colon row. This one is stuck. Semicolon. Direction. Right. So this, now say for example, if I do column, let us say, what happens then? Displays in a column.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So this, how we did flex, let us say flex column if I had to do. What was the shorthand? Flex flow. And flex flow should be column. No wrap. No, flex flow. What is the shorthand?
No, flex flow generator.
No. Flex flow, row reverse. So this row reverse will be column or row. And wrap and no wrap. Okay. So now say for example, I have row.
No, you already. But you have to display the first one. Display flex.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Display flex.
What was it before?
Yeah.
It was display flex. Flex direction was row. Okay. And now it will tell, hey, everything is flowing outside. So the property for that would be flex wrap.
Not flex wrap.
Word. And you say wrap. Then it begins to wrap. It breaks and it comes down. Instead of writing flex direction and flex wrap, the shorthand is flex flow, row, wrap. Same work.
Do the same thing.
Okay. So that'll probably be there in the next. Flex row, flex direction, row. Okay. Check. Next. You may have noticed that your images have all moved onto the same row. The flex wrap property determines how your items should behave when the flex container is too small. Setting this property to wrap will allow your items to wrap to the next row or column depending on your main axis, where no wrap will prevent the items from wrapping. When this is set to no wrap, the items may either shrink to fit or overflow. It is not shrinking because we have given image has width.
Yeah.
Remember? We have given the image a width, right? See here. Where is image? Gallery image has width 25%.
25%.
If we remove this 25% and you leave it like that, it will squish everything to fit in one row. Okay. So that is what it's saying. When this is set to no wrap, items may either shrink to fit or overflow. Yeah. Give the gallery ID selector flex wrap property set to wrap. Flex wrap set to wrap. You should see the images take a 4-column layout because their width is set to 25% in an earlier step. 14. Use the justify content. The justify content property determines how the items inside a flex container are positioned along the main axis, affecting their position and space around them. Simple. We will go back to the flex generator. Remember this site? we will add, let us say 100 pixels, okay, and in our flex justify content, okay, we finished our,
Is it 2:30?
yeah, we finished our 40 minutes, but we'll just wrap it up. We just have a couple of lessons left, right? So we might as well finish this.
Yeah, we continue.
Okay, so now we do this flex wrap, okay, and I will, let us say we'll call this 200 pixels, okay, 150, oh shit, 150 pixels, and in wrap we have to give it wrap 150 this much, okay. Now justify content, you see, this is flex start, justify is along the main axis,
Yeah.
okay, justify is along the main axis. So this is flex start, this is flex end.
Start, yeah.
If we do center,
Everything will be in center.
yeah, if you add more this one, more space,
Whatever you put, yeah, it doesn't matter.
okay. So similarly, if I remove this, we can remove all of, we can do reset and we'll do okay. This one has 65, right? Add one more 65, 165, 1, let us say 265, add flex item, let us say 5, add flex item, let's say 15, add flex item. Oh, I don't know what it is doing to, it's probably changing the size of all of them. That is the problem. Anyway, but you get the idea of center.
Yeah.
Okay. So now it says the justify content property will determine how the items inside a flex container are positioned along the main axis.
Main axis, yeah.
Okay. Affecting their position and space around them. Give your gallery ID selector a justify content property set to center. Justify dash content colon center. Now if you scroll down, these are at center.
Center, yeah.
Align items property positions the flex content along the cross axis.
Yeah, up to down.
Yeah. We'll go back to this. This is my go-to page for clarifying. Hey, what, I don't remember what the property used to do. This one has very nice images, right?
Oh, I see.
Okay. So every time I forget what a property does, I'll just come and have a look at it here. Okay. So now we are looking at align items. Control F, N dash items. This is align items. So align items defines the default how flex items are laid out along the cross axis. So if you have a row, this is main and this is cross. Okay. So for cross, this is flex start. This is flex end. Okay. This is center of this one. Now this one comes into play when you have different heights.
Yeah.
When you do stretch, it takes the full height available.
Yeah.
If you do baseline,
So
it aligns these to the center of, it gets a average center of those. The way it's calculated is a little complex. Let's not break our head about it, but it gets a center line for those. This center line is not vertical center.
No.
Okay. It's a center which is dependent on the combination of these guys. Depending on that, it will get a baseline and align all of them there. Okay. So we will look at what they're asking. Align items is, now what do we have? We have row. This is main and this is cross. So align items is for cross axis.
Yeah.
Align items properties positions the flex content along the cross axis. In this case, with your flex direction set to row, which is main, your cross axis would be vertical. To vertically center your images, give your gallery ID selector and align properties item set to center. What they are trying to do is align dash items center. Okay.
Yeah.
We will go to that again. CSS generator, Flexbox generator here. We will add, this was 65. No, we will do 165. whatever, dude. We'll just remove this. Fine. You have 10 items, right? Now what did we do? We did display flex direction row, display flex direction row, wrap allowed, allow wrap, and then justify content center, align items center, justify content center, cross axis, align items center. Now it is
The whole box is in middle of.
full middle.
Yeah.
Now no matter how you break it, no matter how you change it,
It's in the middle.
yeah, because you have wrap, it breaks around. See,
Yeah.
with no wrap, if you change this to no wrap, where is wrap? If you change this to no wrap, it will try to squish it.
Overflow, yeah.
Now overflow is there, right? So this one solves a lot of display level problems,
Sure.
right? Okay, check your code, submit and go. Ask me later. How many did this have?
21.
Okay, we can wrap it up. Give your ID gallery selector a padding of 0 and 4 pixels. Padding 0 at top and bottom and 4 pixels on right and left. Notice how some of your images have become distorted because it has tried squishing them, right? This is because images have a different aspect ratio. Rather than setting each aspect ratio individually, you can use object fit property to determine how images should behave. Give your gallery ID and inside that image class selector object fit property and set it to cover. Object fit cover. This will tell the images to fill the image container while maintaining aspect ratio, resulting in cropping. If we make this smaller, you see how the... Now, for you to understand, this you might need later. Object fit CSS. We'll look at this. You see this? This image, by default, if you only put the image, it will show the full image, which is 400 by 300. If you give the image tag or its container a size, and then if we style the image to be half of it, 200 pixels and same height 300 pixels, it will look like this. It tried squishing this. You understand? This one's aspect ratio, you see, it tried squishing it. So the tower is longer, the building is shorter and stouter, right? So this is what image width 200, height 300. Okay. If you use object fit, there are different options. If you use cover, object fit cover, it will keep the aspect ratio and fill it. It will only show that much part. It is not trying to squish it into that. It will keep the same this one and I will try fitting it. If you use contain, how much ever is the size, it will keep the same aspect ratio.
Yeah.
It will still be 16:9 or whatever is the aspect ratio, but it will try to fit it in that space. And fill is again, it will change the aspect ratio. If necessary, image will be stretched or squished to fit. Okay. Object fit none is what not. Object fit scale down, fine, probably never use it. But you look at this, here are two images and we want them to fill the width of 50% of the browser window and 100% of the height. In the following examples, we do not use object fit. So we can resize the browser window and the aspect ratio of the images will be destroyed. Now the images look okay, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as we change this, it tries to fit it. You see the image only gets spoiled. Right? You look at the last one, you see how the image gets spoiled here.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, this will become, you might be thinking, why am I stressing on it so much? Remember your... remember the coffee beans?
Coffee beans, yeah.
And we put only background image and there were so many squares.
Yeah.
And then we probably used a property like this to tell, hey, spread the whole thing.
Yeah, in one.
Right?
One image
Yeah,
spread.
and this will be confusing whenever you have a background image. I always get stuck with this.
So
I'm not a fan of CSS, as you are very clear of it,
yeah.
right? But whenever it is, it has mostly got to do with this background spread thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Notice how some of it blah 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 object fit. Now we did object fit cover. Fine, all good. Your images need some space between them. Okay, give your this thing margin top, margin dash top. So every image gets margin top of 8 pixels and padding of 0 pixels at the top and bottom and 4 pixels on the side. Instead of pixels, if you had to use rem, what would be the value?
0.5.
Yeah, 0.5 and 0.25.
0.2.
Check your code. Now all of them have space and padding around them.
On both sides, yeah.
Smooth out your images by giving the gallery images selector a border radius. You see all of them are exact squares, right?
Yeah.
So we're just giving border dash radius of 10 pixels. Okay, everything has this one. Create a media query for screens smaller than 800 pixels. Okay, before we write this, are you on 20?
I am on 20.
Okay.
Create a media query.
Okay. Do you know what a media query is?
No.
You see this code?
Yeah.
A typical large screen device, a laptop, desktop or whatnot, the width will be more than 922 pixels, this width.
Yeah.
If you have a tablet, let us say a tablet, any types of tablets, it will be between, let us say 600 up to 922, 991, whatever. Here they are looking at phones, normal phone. They're looking at tablets, normal tablet. When you turn the tablet around, it becomes landscape or portrait, right? When you turn the tablet around.
Yeah.
So they have a rule set for landscape displays of tablets, right? But typically what we will do is phone 600 pixels and lesser.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
This bracket, whatever you're seeing, no?
Yeah.
If let us say I do, try it yourself. Right, exactly what I was thinking of doing in terms of colors. See, you see these rules. Now just understand the rules. This is the syntax. At media is a media query.
Yeah.
Anything with an at is a query. Okay?
Yeah.
At media is media query.
Query.
For again, you can have you ever noticed how if some web pages, if you do print page.
Print, yeah.
Now if I do this Control P, what do you get? You get this along with the header and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But some pages, let us say you get a airline ticket and you do Control P, only the ticket content comes.
Yeah.
The header and Gmail, everything doesn't come, right? Because they would have written a media query for how you have at media only screen, right? Like that you'll have at media only print.
Print.
So they'll specify a layout for a print layout. That is how that comes. Okay, everything is obviously written. Magically it doesn't happen.
No.
Okay, so just understand a media query only for screen. Now you understood this part.
Yeah.
Right? And just does and. It's like a condition. Okay, and maximum width is 600 pixels. There is no minimum specified here. Okay,
For mobile phone.
right. If so, that means this rule is applicable if the width is lesser than 600, then it applies red, background red. Just think of it like this. If it is less than 600, all of these rules get applied.
Yeah.
If it is between 600, if it is between 600 and up, here if they've done min, no, you can also have a max. Okay, so what I would do is min width 600 pixels and max width is 7 whatever. I would write max width as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it is only this whatever, if it matches these rules, apply this stuff inside. That is all is the logic. Now I will write a set of rules for mobile. I'll write a set of rules for tablet. I'll write a set of rules for display for desktop.
Yeah.
Right, and these rules only relate to this part.
That one on the left.
Yeah, or this, right? So I'll have whatever header, and I'll give it a width, the spacing, and the ordering,
Okay, yeah.
right? Typically these rules will not have something like background color. You're not trying to change how the style looks. You're trying to control the layout
Layouts.
in media queries.
Yeah, in
Okay.
different sizes.
Yeah. Okay. So if for example you go to Amazon, you like Amazon, no?
Yeah.
Let us say we go here, right? Remember, we'll go to some category, books. Okay. We'll go to this. Go here. Okay, go here. Dude, just show me some books, man. Okay. Now with Flexbox, you know how. Let us say. Now with Flex, now you know how to do this.
Yeah.
With the Flexbox. At one point, from 4 columns, it has to shift to 3.
Yeah.
Correct. This is Flex Wrap.
Box.
This is Flex Wrap.
Yeah.
If you allow wrap, it will just go down. From 3, it became 2. All of this is just probably Flex Wrap.
Yeah.
Right. And probably at this point, it is not here like that. Now, for this one, now you understand that this rule is applicable at this point. This rule is applicable at 600 pixels.
600 pixels.
I mean, this is just one rule. You can have hundreds of rules here. Now, as I change this, now these rules are applicable. Next, this rule is applicable.
The
Blue. So now think of the different layouts. This will make sense again when we do grid, where we define a grid. Okay. And we will get, although I'm tempted to show you how a grid layout will work, we will get to it when freeCodeCamp says you're ready to learn it. But just understand the concept. This is a media query.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So now we need to. It says create a media query for screens smaller than 800 pixels. We'll go here. I'll copy this media query. Come here. I'll put this at media is the query, only screen, and max width equals 800 pixels.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we will use the rule gallery ID and images inside it. And now set width 50%. Right?
Yeah.
This rule is applicable when it is less than 800. If I make it more than 800, what happened?
25%.
This rule was applicable.
25%.
Width 25%. As soon as this changed, only the rule. See, again, I'm not specifying anything about height, object fit, margin, nothing. Only the one which I want to be applied. I'm only putting that width 50%, which controls the layout. Okay. So if now it is this much, right? Similarly, if I come here, I'll copy this. Let's copy this, Shift Alt down, and let us make it 400 pixels, and I do it 100%. Now what happens? As soon as it becomes less than 400.
Yeah, full image.
So now you know how a responsive site works. Because you specified this part.
This stuff.
You are now a responsive website developer. Mobile first front-end engineer. Okay.
So step 20.
Yeah. So now think, just go back. One day you go back. Think of the different layouts you thought of making and the kind of problems that Flex solves for you.
Yeah.
How much more simplified is it to control the flow of elements?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. As long as something is flowing one after the other, either in a list, either in a set of cards, as long as it is flowing, as long as it is a longer list, it can grow and shrink. Flex is a great solution.
Great solution for that.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm going to close this. Check this. Oh, it does not pass. Media query should have a max width of 800 pixels. Like, okay. He does not have screen. Right. Here we are specifying at media only screen, right?
Yeah.
He does not have only screen. Only screen and is not there. He's only giving max width. Okay. 21. Resize the preview. How many do we have left, Syed?
Last one, 21.
21 is the last one, is it?
Yeah.
Whoa, okay. All good.
Bro, in 20, have you done 20?
Yeah.
Okay, what should I do?
At media,
Okay.
open bracket,
Open bracket. Parentheses or bracket?
bracket,
Okay.
bracket. That is parenthesis. I'm talking about just round bracket.
This one.
Yeah. Max dash width.
Max. Yeah.
Colon.
Yeah.
Wait. It gives here. 1 minute. Let me try. At media max dash width. I think it is colon 800 pixels. Dot dot hash gallery, and inside that we had image and width 50%. Yeah, it is max width column. Okay, 1 minute. We'll have a look at the different options that you might have, Syed.
Yeah.
See here, we did screen, right? Like that you have print.
Print as well.
Okay. Targeting media features, hover, max width, color. What are the different things given? User agent, complex media query. So whenever you have to do this, you can do min width, you can do orientation, right? Min width, orientation, then min height, orientation. What I just want to see a full list of, see over here also, not all and monochrome. Basically you can either do not and you can do and. You can combine multiple options.
Yeah.
And whatnot. See, you can also do this media 30m less than width. See here, look at this width.
Yeah.
This width is between 30m and 50m. This is also a nice way of writing it, right? Instead of writing min width 30 and max width equals this, just write this.
30 to 50.
This is a very nice way of writing.
Yeah, of course.
Right, it's beautiful. It's very convenient. I don't know why everybody doesn't use this, but I think going forward I will try this out. Okay, fine. We can close media queries, this also and this also.
What about 21?
Yeah, 21. Resize the preview to see how the layout changes. Finally, create another media query for screens smaller than 600 pixels. The same thing. I'm going to copy all of this at media stuff. And instead of max width, we will do max width 600 pixels. 600 pixels. In that way, create the rule set that makes width property to 100%. This is exactly what I did, right?
Yeah. Double. Yeah. Still remember that.
Right? All good?
Yeah, but 100%,
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I think we have finished that part. Okay?
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah.
We will learn how to do this. This is straightforward. Now think of this. Now just look at this and you tell me how would you approach this.
So we have field set, right?
Okay.
First one.
See again one question. A field set is used where?
When we have groups.
Groups of?
Items, same items.
Not always items. Typically it is a set of fields that the user enters. Input fields. Typically you use field set along with input fields.
Input field. Here
you don't use this ones. So maybe you can just go with a div.
With a div
okay.
here, yeah?
Yeah. But let us say for example, you see this. Logically, let us look at this.
Yeah.
You look at this. What is this? This is, let us say, an item.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is, let us say, weight.
Yeah.
And this is percentage.
Yeah.
So this style, where the main component, if you have to just break it down, Okay. Maybe we could say this row is main components. This row is sub components. Okay. This is the main component. This is the main component. This is the main component. This is a sub component.
Sure.
This is a sub component or whatever. Right. So maybe this whole table is a bunch of divs, which can be in display, flex,
Flexbox.
flex direction,
Yeah.
column for the whole table, for the whole rows.
Yeah.
Okay. Now in this row, you have 3 elements.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing what you can do is, obviously you can have your styling, but if you have to only use flex or justify content,
Justify content.
this you could group these two as one piece, this as one piece, and then you could do justify content
Between. Center.
Yeah, space between. So it gives full space between and pushes them to the corner.
To the corner.
Okay. Maybe for this, it has a class. Maybe this is a div with class sub item.
Yeah.
And for this, you do margin left. It just moves it little to the side. It is still just an element.
Okay.
Same rule that is applicable there. Flex, whatever this one, and justify content.
Yeah.
Space between.
Spaces, yeah.
Right. This is, let us say, an HR or something. All of this is font sizing. Right. Out of curiosity, now in your head you have an idea of how to do it. But now let us actually see how it is broken down. Again, this is a piece. This is a piece. What did I say? You see the red part on the left?
Yeah. Margin left.
Margin left. Right. And this is P indent no divider. P paragraph. Something. This is a row. Now just look at this part, amount per serving and calories. How many pieces do you think are there?
Where?
In this part. Let us say, I'll do here. Let us say epic pen. How do you think this layout is going to be? Let this just start up, yeah? This whole thing is one box. Agreed? This is one row, one div. Okay? In this, 2 ways of doing this. One, you put only amount per serving as one row. You put calories and 230 as another row and break it.
Yeah.
Or, is there any undo? Shit, I don't think there's any undo.
Down.
Oh yeah, undo. Or, this can be 2 items, which has space between.
It can be.
And this can also have, either there can be 2 items with, how will you make these come after another? Display block. Or display flex and wrap means you'll still, if this becomes wide enough, this will come next to each other. But you want this layout only.
Okay.
Right? So you can do either display block. It will come one for this square, for this box. Now this is one element, right? This whole thing is one element, right? Which has 2 internal elements. So either you can do display block, it will come one after the other, or display flex direction, column.
Yeah.
Correct? So think of it like that and think of how to do this with flex.
So we have this one for next time, yeah?
Yeah, this is for next time.
Okay.
This also, now that you have already learned the concepts, no, Syed. Now see, again, in today's class, we spent some amount of time doing the flex concept. It's a new concept.
It is.
Now, when you come to this part, hey dude, if you go back to here, close this, go back to new responsive web design. Now in this, we did Flexbox, right?
Yeah.
Typography, used everything from the past. Accessibility, maybe a few new concepts, but not that many. Tribute page, you use everything from here. Again, I think those 2-3 sections you should be able to do fast. Pseudo selectors also fast. Picasso, I don't know. The next thing where you'll take little amount of time is this grid.
Grid, yeah.
Okay. So anyway, I think that's about it for today. It was a nice sessions. I feel like you learned a new concept today.
I did, bro.
Right?
Flexbox, I need to, tomorrow.
Yeah.
I need to apply more and more and more.
All good. Just practice out things, have a look at it, then we will see how to go from there. Fine. So I'll stop today's stream.
Yeah.
Okay. All good.